background.
But don't forget, I tend to do that. We'll give it another minute or so while people trickle in here.
Yeah.
Or Lee still, right? Or Lee, yes. I usually sit right to the left of Patrick. That's my chair.
Well, your next meeting, check flag etiquette, the flag should be switched.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, I always
Always
do.
to the right of the speaker.
Oh,
All right, Barbara, I think we're ready to roll.
Hi, everyone. It's Roberta from Avalon.
Hey, Roberta.
See you, Roberta.
Good to see you guys.
I'm calling this, it is now 7:01 according to my Apple Watch. I'm calling this meeting to order. And let's stand and say a pledge of allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America.
republic which stands one
One
nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Patrick, roll call.
Okay, Aleppo, Avalon,
present.
Bell Acres, Bellevue,
Here.
Ben Avon.
Here.
Killbuck here, I'm losing signal.
Swickley, and then Swickley Heights. Thanks.
Killbuck is here.
Okay, that's a quorum.
Swickley Heights is here.
Thanks, Nate. All right, we have a quorum.
Okay, great. And, I see no guests, so we'll move on to the next. The approval of the October 18th meeting minutes.
so moved.
Paul moved. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Great. Moving on, I need the approval of the October financial reports. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, Patrick?
No, everything's tracking well. If you look at the budget, I think we did a good job of figuring out where we thought we'd be, and turns out we ended up in those good spots. Everyone paid their dues, tracking good for revenues. Should be carrying over a nice bit of money into our savings account. Other than that, no comments. Everything looks good.
Good job, Patrick.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it does. I double, triple check them. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
I was gonna say, I know everybody in the room said aye. We're moving on. To the president's report. Essentially, in my report, I'm gonna let it go to the Route 65 update. Do you want to do that for Julie?
Sure. Let me just go ahead and pull it up. I'll share my screen. That way we all see the little flyer. So this is something that kind of got jammed in between a lot of things we were doing, especially it was right around the annual dinner. This was finalized by Michael Baker, but it's a 2-page flyer that we had put together, just sort of summarizing everything that we've done over the last, 4 or 5 years, really. So almost there, just getting to the financials. Okay, so hopefully everyone is able to see that, and just minimize it a little bit so we can zoom out. But it's a flyer that's really going to be used here to just bring everybody up to speed, right? So the idea is here, what we're looking for tonight is just the reemergence of a little committee, right? 3 or 4 people to help me work with the solicitor to build an intergovernmental agreement, right? This predates me. This is 4 or 5 years ago that this all started. What I'm looking to see is buy-in from everybody again. A lot of new faces, a lot of new people in all the councils here. So this is going to be brand new to them too.
Right.
So the goal here is just seeking a motion to rebuild a committee. If anyone's interested in working on Route 65, working with me, working with the solicitor. I know Julie Barnes is really looking to head this up. So you'd be working probably with me and Julie, and 1 or 2 other people would be ideal.
I would like to work with you too.
Barbara too. So, but again, hopefully everyone's had a chance to take a look at this. It's a real nice, brief flyer. not too heavy. And it's something that I'm hoping that everyone has a chance to take to their individual councils as well. Once we get this agreement sort of worked on with the committee and the solicitor, we can take this flyer, take the agreement, to each one of our 15 towns and say, hey, if Route 65 is something you guys are looking to improve, you know, everyone's got their ideas on how to do it, but let's do it together, right? And we'll sort of figure out those next steps from there. But the first step is bringing a committee.
Hey, Patrick, did they take out narrowing the traffic lanes?
They took out narrowing the traffic lanes.
They put in installing speed bumps.
And you know, this all goes
That
full.
ought to be fun.
You know, I expect this all to go full circle. I had our police chiefs meeting on Monday this week. They brought up Route 65. I guess there was another pretty bad wreck in the last
Yeah.
week.
Up and down.
And,
Yeah.
you know, they're asked by their towns, hey, you know, how are we gonna enforce it? And they have a lot of concerns too. There's not a lot of space for them to monitor. And then once they catch the speeders, right, there's no one to really pull over safely for their officers. So this all goes into that, right? As far as building infrastructure to not only have a safer roadway, but have safer enforcement as well. So this isn't gonna be something that's fixed tomorrow, but these are the first steps that we can start to work together as a group to work towards something in the future.
As we all know that politics is slow moving. And slower than politics, I think, is PennDOT, but
Yeah,
that's
I
my
agree.
personal opinion. This has, the study itself was very well done, so if people are not familiar with it, and I think we're going to have to reacquaint people to the main study. I mean, it is thick, but it gives you a lot, it's very well organized, it gives you a lot of practical solutions for municipalities rather than look for the whole plan. And what Julie is asking for when we do an intergovernmental agreement, number one, PennDOT asks for buy-in from the communities, not money,
Yeah.
but just that everybody is interested in it and going forward with this. Number two, once we have buy-in, we could start to work on a regional plan. That's the next governmental steps as outlined. And it's gonna take time. It will take probably past my time in council, but it's important because I don't think there's one single community or even communities that don't border 65 that say, oh my, this is a safe road. It is well done. It is a hodgepodge road going through residential, going through Bellevue community, you know, commercial districts. And then you have between Emsworth and Glen Osborne, what looks like a highway. And people take it that way too. So there's a lot of practical things in here that one could do that is not costly. But for a COG, for a governmental body, we have to have buy-in to go to the next major step.
Are you still gonna continue, Patrick, to reach out to the Beaver County folks, just to,
So this step here, their future, who knows what it holds, but this step here is get the buy-in from our 15 towns.
okay.
I'm not gonna beg and plead for others to join. If
No,
they
no,
do,
no,
if
it's just,
yeah,
they wanted it to be a corridor.
Yeah.
Was what PennDOT was looking for, that's all.
and that very well might be in the future, but these steps here, the initial steps is just build an agreement, brief 3 or 4 page document everyone can take with them with this flyer, take to their councils, take to their boards, and more or less just say, hey, this is important to us.
Yeah.
That's the commitment.
Good idea.
And the long-term planning, again, you know, we'll have these steps built, but we're just a small little operation, right? It's just,
Yeah.
right, and we're only a board, right? So the goal is to show the commitment to maybe get some planning grants.
Yeah.
And then to take this to SPC and say, the Southwestern Planning Commission and PennDOT and say, please help us.
Yeah.
You know, they have the resources, they have the talent, that this is what they do. But we're the glue, right? We just want to be that binding agent.
And one of the suggestions was, once you get the plan, to have a commission separate from the PennDOT, which would kind of oversee anything that is going along and continue to have communities, which obviously the COG would be involved with, to cooperate and make it consistent from the city limits up to Beaver County.
And
So-
Patrick, I'm sorry, you don't, I'll wait till you're finished, Barb.
I'm finished. Go
Oh.
ahead.
Speaking of the accident last week here in Avalon, where someone was actually killed, have the police chiefs determined where we're putting the, actual cameras that we were, given through the grants? Because there is really, as you said, no place for any police officers to sit and, do the typical radar or pullover, et cetera. We just don't even have any teeth down on the boulevard. And I mean, regular commuters know that and they speed because they can.
Yeah, so the traffic cameras, I shouldn't say traffic cameras. The cameras are called automated license plate reader cameras. So that's what the grant's for. So basically
Yes.
what these do are capture the license plate of everything goes by, it goes into a big database. And if they're looking for a bad guy or a bad girl, they can type in that license plate and figure out where they've been.
Mhm.
So the cameras aren't going to necessarily be able to like write fines and tickets and things like that. But there are 5 locations that we've identified. One's in Avalon, one's in Bellevue, 2 are in Leedsdale, and one's in the intersection of Hayesville and Glen Osborne at the railroad crossing there. So what we're hoping to do here is put this out to bid, probably the next 4 to 6 weeks. Once it's put out to bid, we're hoping to get some good competitive pricing from the different vendors that are qualified and licensed to install these cameras. And then from there, we're going to go to the communities. And this is kind of separate from the Route 65, but it's something you guys should definitely be aware of. Once the bids come in, we can go to the towns and say, hey, Leedsdale or Glen Osborne or Hayesville or Sewickley or whoever the case might be, we have this grant. We're going to be able to install the cameras. It's not going to cost you $1 to install them or anything like that for the hardware. But the communities that get the cameras are 100% responsible for the legacy costs. Some of those legacy costs might be able to be a partnership between businesses that might be able to provide their internet source. But the other costs are the access to the camera system, right? So that's, anywhere from a couple $100 a camera per year to, a couple $1,000 per year. It's going to depend on the situation really. But the QVCOG is not responsible for that. That's going to be really up to the individual municipality. So that's a conversation we'll need to have with those towns once these bids come in. So that's something that you guys might be seeing probably not too far down the road.
But if I'm not incorrect, they don't do anything for speeding for any local.
No.
Right.
Only read license plate.
Right, and the read license plates and potentially
It's a
tag
database.
people for not having insurance and things, right?
So
They don't usually go after, paper crimes. They go after like, if there was a violent accident or what, hit and run, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or thefts,
There was a break-in at Sacred Heart right after the cameras were put in at Camp Horn Road. There was a break-in and they caught the person thanks to those cameras. They were able to identify, but literally all they see is the license plate. They don't see the rest of the car.
Nope.
They're truly always, it just picks up the license plate and that's all the police officers see. They don't see anything else. So if it's a hit and run, they don't see it because they don't see the damage on the car, other than if they have the license plate.
Right.
So yeah, there's a couple different systems and we'll see what the bids come in. But there is the option too to have overhead cameras installed with these license plate readers. Now, again, it's more or less, you catch the license plate, you might be able to see the color of the car, things like that. Oh, okay, the car was caught at this intersection. If there is a hit and run, there might be a little footage you can capture off that, but that's certainly not the main focus of them. The main focus is to really capture that data. But you might be able to piece together some images, and they have solved issues in the area, with those overhead cameras too.
Quite a few.
So, but it's a big network, just because Leedsdale gets it, or just because Leet or Sewickley or Ohio Township would get it. It goes in this big aggrandized system across the state and across the county. So basically it just talks to each other and, Leet Township might be able to forward over, hey, we got data in Plum Borough that this license plate you're looking for popped on our network, and they can work together to catch,
That's where it goes.
that person.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take a motion to, put the flyers so that we could have it given to the community.
So
Second,
Second.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 As far as I know, one when it's passed.
Perfect.
On to the executive, the grant status report.
Yep, so not on this report, but I just want to let everyone know we had 5 local share account grants that we were asked to apply for. We submitted 4 of them so far, 2 for Leeds, 1 for Emsworth's in the pipeline here, 1 for Glen Osborne, and what was the other one? Blanking on it, but that's not in this report. But outside of that, we had a couple projects for tying the ends on here for CDBG. We're still waiting for our year 49, which is like the 2022 to 2023 projects, and it's ironic because 2023 is almost over. So no surprise there, but we have an extension, I'm sure, in the pipeline for that. 4 projects in that pipeline, but we haven't got the contract for it yet. We had an abundance of applications we submitted over the last few months. As you guys, I'm sure it's touched your communities in one way, shape, or form. 9 CDBG projects we applied for, 17 gaming grants, 5 local shares. So it's almost 30 applications we put in just this year. So I'm really excited to see what we get funded. You know, odds are we're going to get more money in our little COG and community network here next year than we ever have before. So fingers crossed. And as soon as I know about the verdicts of these, you guys will be the first to know. So thank you for all your help in all your towns participating. Really excited to see where we go.
Thank you for all your work.
Yes.
Okay, next is the executive director's report.
Okay, so just want to let everyone know we have a flagger certification course. So this is something that our public works departments can register for. It's totally free. It's going to take place on December 14th at 8 a.m. It's going to be at the Aleppo Township Public Works Garage. So this will be about a 2 to 3 hour course. The attendees get a 3-year certification. So it's a good opportunity for them to check that off the list and have that certification should they need it. So if they want to register, just send me an email. I'll make sure they get signed up for that. Act 152 awards. So another one of our grant awards. Bell Acres Borough applied for a demolition grant. Got $29,500. We just got notified of that a couple weeks back. So we'll be working with them in the county to get that project under contract and get a property at 109 North Avenue in Bell Acres safely torn down. Another cool project. Christmas light recycling bins are being provided by Michael Brothers Holland. That's the company that does our glass recycling. So these are totally free to participate. They're raising money for the Salvation Army's Project Bundle Up. So I know Bellevue, Avalon, and I think those are the only 2 right now. I've signed up for these bins. Stick it out in your municipal office. People can drop their lights off, goes to a good cause. So if anyone else is interested in having one of these in their community building, let me know. And Michael Brothers actually drops it off for you. And once it's full, we'll pick it up. So it's no expense, no effort required on our part, just cool publicity for them and a good cause for some of those funds. Our annual managers and secretaries holiday lunch will be on December 6th. So 11 a.m. at the Aleppo Township building. We're going to have some Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and lemonade for all the managers and secretaries. Hopefully it's a good turnout. We try to pick a date where it's kind of in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That serves as our last meeting of the year. So looking forward to that. And last but not least, the Local Government Academy's newly elected officials course is going to be taking place in the coming months. This is something that fills up really quick. So those councils and boards that might have some new faces, this is a really good opportunity for them to get enrolled and know what they're going to be expected to do, right? This is something that's really taken off over the last few years, and it does fill up quickly. So again, really emphasize if you guys have some new faces, make sure they're aware. I'm sure most of the managers and secretaries are aware of this, but hopefully those that were elected are as well. You know, there is a cost to it, but the registration information can all be found at localgovernmentacademy.org. Really good program there. That's my report.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or anything about the report? Okay. On to new business, and one of the first items in new business is something that Patrick and I have discussed about having our December 20th meeting as a Zoom meeting. it's always tough in December to get people to attend any meeting. So, we would need a motion to, have it on Zoom. Anything you want to add, Patrick?
Yeah, just being 5 days before Christmas, I don't wanna ask anyone to open the doors for us at 7 p.m. on December 20th, and you guys might be out of town, and I wanna make it as convenient for everyone to participate, get a quorum, get our bills paid, and get everyone home as conveniently as possible, so that's really the idea behind it.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second,
Thank you, Bert. All those in discussion, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Okay, the next item is an update on the Emergency Response Committee.
I'll make this real brief. I kind of wanted to lean on Amy for this one, just because she sort of spearheaded our prior discussions, working in conjunction with the all three communities, really. But just a brief update. A couple months back, our board approved a committee that focuses on this in partnership with Glenfield, Glen Osborne, and Hayesville Borough. We want to try to get a date set for that committee, and I really want to open the doors for anyone from those three towns to participate. You know, we again, you know, our goal is to be a binding agent, but not the leaders of this, right? We want the communities to be the leaders, and we just want to help any way we can. So hopefully, by that December 20th meeting, we have a date in the calendar and maybe a little more information on that, but that's really all I have for this evening. And Paul, I know you're in attendance. Did you have any input or sort of background that you wanted to provide on sort of this partnership and sort of the threats and issues that you guys are looking to address?
Yeah, they were spelled out months ago, and it kind of has gone quiet,
It sure
the
has.
meeting, and we talked about it briefly at our meeting on Monday. So, I know our mayor, Dave Orbison, has, I'll say steam-headed that, so I'll
Yes, he has.
have to back check with him, because there really hasn't been any update or discussion on any progress lately.
I could add that Glen Osborne really is, first of all, we found out how inadequate we were in our
Right.
emergency response.
Sure, yeah.
That was something that came out of this committee. We thought we were prepared and then found out, oh no.
We're not even close.
We're not even close.
Right.
So, I forget the woman's name from, Aleppo.
Yeah, I can't.
Julia.
Their emergency
Response.
response person. So we had some meetings where we were gonna collaborate with Aleppo. That seemed to have went by the wayside, where she didn't feel that she could take that on. So we are in the process and of trying to find somebody that can be our.
She is going to take her, I think we have her convinced to take it on.
Oh, really?
Without pay.
Because the last
Yeah, I know.
contact we had were, so we've been actually looking, where, Hayesville has somebody that had committed and was going through the training. So
Right,
we were trying to talk to them to see if we can combine, since we're so close, but, Kurt Reiner has been, I'll say, has that underway, and I don't, you know, we didn't have an update at Monday's meeting. He said he'd get us more information the following meeting on that, so.
yeah, Bill Monsky from Glen Osborne is our emergency.
Right, okay.
So we need to get them together.
Okay,
We really do. I think Amy's been busy, but maybe after the new
Sure.
year, I think Amy is head of this committee, am I correct? Or we haven't met.
I'm not sure
so
we
don't
figured
know.
that quite out yet, but yeah, I mean, I was definitely leaning on her to sort of
Yeah,
be that backbone
Sure.
for me on this, for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, so we'll definitely have more information on that, and this conversation is just paramount as well. We need to work together, right? There's
right.
three towns in close proximity with really small populations that maybe have an opportunity to share some resources and ideas, so we'll see where we can take it.
Patrick, I think Ensworth's emergency manager is also Glenfield's. I think that's part of the contract, the fire contract with them. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's part of the fire, the agreements they have with all the towns and our emergency managers and takes that over, so.
Yeah, something to look into for sure.
We,
You can
well, we did check with the fire chief on, you know, because we talked to them about their availability, and,
Well, the fire chief and the emergency manager are two different
two
members.
different guys, okay.
Yeah, it's Joe Kohler, who's the emergency manager coordinator, and Jim Cole is.
Jimmy Cole's the chief, okay.
Yeah, so they work well together, but they're two different.
So Emsworth does the fire support for Glenfield?
We
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
And so who's the gentleman's name, this your emergency management?
Joe Kohler,
Joe Kohler, okay.
yeah, I'm pretty, if you wanna check your contract, I'm pretty sure it's in there.
Okay,
Because you guys give us your, aid money,
yeah,
there's a lot of give and take.
Yeah. Well, we're a small community, so
Yeah,
we have to.
Well, that would address that if that's the case.
yeah, Joe's done it for 100
Just
years.
better to put it on paper, I guess. for the record.
Yeah,
Very good. All right. Next,
Okay.
it's gonna be the
Paul gets.
concerns from delegates.
Yeah, you can check with Kathy at the Amesworth office.
okay.
Or read your contract with the fire service.
Okay, any old business?
Nope,
Okay, then we go on to concerns by the delegates.
sure. Roberta, you're first up. What's new in Avalon?
Let's see, we, we just swore in 3 new police officers last night. So that's really fabulous. I know that, all of our small boroughs have had issues hiring and retaining. And we have a really great, police chief, Chief Kokoski. He keeps us super updated on kind of the vibe at the academy and where it's heading in these times, basically after George Floyd, and how the attendance, and desire to become a policeman, or woman has dwindled. And it's really affected us. We've had a lot of turnover because we aren't able to offer the highest pay or things like that, like bigger townships. So we were really thrilled. He's feeling better about the future of the academy. And, like I said, we got three new police officers last night. We're excited about that. We had a lot of work on our Avalon Park down by the pool this summer, new pavilions and all sorts of new stuff. So that's being finalized and finished. And also, next month, I think it's December 3rd, we're trying something new for our Avalon Light Up Night. And we're doing it Sunday afternoon from 2 to 5:30. And Bellevue will do theirs the night before. Dan can, correct me if I have the dates wrong, but, we're just trying something new on our side of the community this year. So that's it.
Very good. All right, Dan, you're up. What's new in Bellevue?
Oh yeah, so like Roberta just said, December 2nd, the night before, we're doing our Light Up Bellevue celebration event from 5 to 9. Other than that, council, we're just working through the budget for 2024, working through getting another police officer on our side of things, as we're losing an officer in the coming weeks. So just a lot of busy work right now, prepping for 2024.
Very good. All right, next up, Tavia, what's new in Ben Avon?
I don't think we have much this month. Our house tour is December 2nd, if anyone's interested in attending that.
Very good. Thank you. Paul, what's new in Emsworth?
Nothing.
Yeah. Barbara?
Glenn Osborne is finishing up. We revised our zoning and our subdivision ordinances. And in December, we hope to pass them. It's been 11 years since we updated it. We have some tentative development in the community, so this should streamline everything a lot better. I
Very good.
am amazed at the definitions one needs to have now in a zoning code.
Yeah.
Things that were not in existence when I started on council at all, but it's been interesting. I think it's needed, but as I say, it's very, very interesting.
Oh, what's new in Glenfield?
It's pretty quiet. I'm just working through the budget and things like that.
Very good. All right, Daryl, what about Killbuck?
Things are quiet as usual in Killbuck. We're in the process of looking at our fee structure for permitting, which hasn't been updated in 8 or 9 years. So that's about the only thing we're doing right now.
Dan?
That's it.
Lee Township, pretty quiet. We're anticipating the planning commission dealing with the Quaker Valley School District plan. And some other things, police related, but we don't need to get into that. That's about it.
All right, Jeff?
Either this month or I mean, next month or January, we are going to hire another officer. So that brings us up to 6 officers, full-time. Other than that, just working through the regular stuff.
Very good. Nate, any news in Sewickley Heights?
No, all is kind of normal for us right now. Winding up the year.
Anybody else that I maybe didn't reach out to? I think we got everybody today. Any comments before we close up?
No?
Good.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all, as always.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you in December.
Have a wonderful night. Thank you.
I'm the king of adjournment.